Well, hey there, my friends. Welcome to my channel, Ink and Whimsy. I'm Laura Daniels, and I'm so glad we get to spend some time together today. We're going to create a double page layout where I create the first page, and then I do a big reveal showing you page B. And we're going to be using the Hip Kit Club Our Stories collection from February of this year. And I'm going to document a visit my daughter and I took on an incredibly beautiful fall day to a winery here in North Georgia. And the vibrant colors of the umbrellas and the music and the people watching, this kit was perfect. And I cannot wait to show you how it all comes together. We're going to be using a couple of different alpha sets. This one is from the actual kit, Our Stories. It has green and this beautiful tangerine orange, I think, and it's very glittery. And then these are from a Felicity Jane kit that I've had on hand. And we're going to use these on page A, and these are on page B. Here is some of the ephemera we're going to be using. I did something fun with that rainbow cardstock. I cut it up, and I can't wait to show you what I've done with it. And then I also fussy cut some florals, and here is half of the title. It's called Sipping Wine. And I dug into my stash, and we're going to be using some close to my heart stickers to get some background stamping done, including this tiny little one right here. And here are the colors we're going to be using. So you can definitely get a feel of what the color palette is going to be by the time we're done with this double page spread. All right, I'm excited. Let's get started. I will set all this aside, and we're going to get page A done. I'm going to move these over and this over. I'm going to keep the colors so that you can see them. And for those of you that have followed my channel, you know this is Sweet Ava, and this is my daughter Lauren. All right, so let's get started with how we're going to pull this together. I am very excited. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is lay down this piece right here, but I'm going to leave it untaped on the side so that we can put some ephemera and pieces underneath. So let's do this. Hold true to what I'm saying. Don't go all the way to that side. And we ran out of roller tape. I'll be right back. All right, so this is the tape. This is the side that doesn't have the roller tape on it. So we're going to put this right up here to the top edge. And then I want to take this piece of cardstock that's cut at a 1/2 inch, and we're going to lay this down, but I want to show a little bit of the green on the edge. So we're going to put it at about the 1/4 inch mark here on the side. It kind of went down quicker than I was ready. There we go. Kind of bowed out right there, isn't it? Come on now, cooperate with me. All right, there we go. Why does that look off to me? It could be the paper that I cut, right? All right, I do think that looks better. All right, now we're going to take this floral, and the reason I chose this is it matches the colors in the umbrella that you'll see on the second page, page B. Now see that white core right there? Anytime you want that to show, you want to rip the cardstock towards you. Now, not all cardstock has a white core, so you'll know. And I'm using my thumb to guide how far in I want the tear to go, and you'll see that it's pretty symmetrical right there. Now, I want the tear to be towards this side, so I'm just going to flip it. There's really no up and right side to this. Actually, there is, so where do I want to put it? I think we're going to put the tear on this side. Not that you're going to see much of it. Oh my goodness, what should I do? What should I do? We're going to turn it because the other page has it that way, and I don't think it's going to show that much. I think we're going to be good. There we go. Let's lay that down. All right. Now the next thing I want to do is to work on the rainbow, and this was a full 12 by 12 sheet, and it had 3 different rainbows in it. There's a mauve pink colors, there's the yellows and the orange, and then the blues. So I cut them all apart, and then I'm going to use one on this page and one on the other. But there's a couple things I want to do to the rainbow before we attach it down. The first thing I want to do is rough up the edges with a pair of scissors. This is very easy. You just kind of go around. And what I like is that it's going to make it look like fabric, since we're going to do some faux stitching on the rainbow pieces. So I'm going to get the first one kind of started here so you can see what I do. And then I will do the rest of it off camera. And see how it gives it that nice roughed edge that looks more like a piece of fabric. And then you're going to grab your white gel pen. And there's a trick to using the gel pen. Let me go on this side to get it going. To make it look like it's stitched, is you're going to go back and forth a couple times on it. And you see how my right hand that's holding the pen is keeping it steady, so I'm not going all over the place. Let me hold this up so you can see it. So you take the pen and you go back and forth with it to get that stitched look. All right, I'm going to pause the camera now. I'm going to finish the rainbow and have that attached. And just like that, it'll be done. I just realized, well, first of all, I want to show this to you. See how neat that looks up close? And you get into a rhythm of doing the back and forth, and you're turning the paper and you're keeping your pen steady. So look, I have all of these finished, but I realized I wanted to do some background stamping up here, down here in this corner right here, and then down here. So we need to get some placement. Now I know this is going to go about right here. And then I'm going to have some flowers here. So I want some stamping right here. And then this photo of my daughter and I is going to go at the end of the rainbow. And we're going to have some florals here. So I want stamping done right here. So let's get this all set. I think we'll do down in the bottom right first. And you're going to love these colors I chose. Now the yellow and the orange are for the page B, and I'm excited to show how I showed the transition from page A to page B. But this side, since we have the blue rainbow, we're going to use the Distressed Oxide Tumbled Glass first. And we're going to, and I'm not going to clean these stamps, because I'll be using them in 3 different areas. So we are just going to have some fun stamping. I love this stamp. You have seen me use it several times. Now, when you are stamping an image like this, turn your stamp a little bit. That way it's not all the same, right? You don't have this dot right here in the same place all across the page. And then I want a little bit up here, and there we go. All right. All right, now let's move with the same stamp to this corner right here. Do you like to go to wineries? I mean, the glass of wine is never excuse me, inexpensive. However, the atmosphere, the scenery, oh my gosh, that's always just so pretty. So it's not something I do on a regular basis. I'm trying to get a placement here, about right here. But to go once in a while, we've gone with friends before, and we've all brought hors d'oeuvres. And of course, you drink the wine there. Let me make sure that's not, okay. But in this one other winery we go to, you can bring your own hors d'oeuvres to eat, as long as when you're sitting at the table, you are drinking a bottle of their wine. So we share a bottle of wine, have fun. Okay, let's move this right here. And there we go. Now some of that's going to be covered, and that's okay, And now I want to move to this corner up here. And I can't wait to show you how it looks when we add the second stamp. And y'all know me, if we make a mistake, we just go with it. We don't redo a page, do we? Nope. No, ma'am. We do not. All right, there we go. This is for our rainbow. And a lot of this will be covered, but it'll be showing right up here. All right, there we go. So we have those three areas. And now we're going to bring in the second color. And it is this beautiful peacock feathers. Oh, I love it. Almost looked like the color of the sky that day. Now here, I used two different stamps on the same block. This is a tiny little stamp from this Always Dream Maker stamp set from Close to My Heart. And I'm just using this tiny little piece right here. And then this larger one, and then the one I just used is from the Background Element stamp from Close to My Heart. You may be able to find those in one of those scrapbook groups. Other than that, just look for stamps that are like ink and coffee splotches, right? All right, so now we're just adding this color in here. And again, I want to make sure that I'm turning my stamp. Look how pretty that looks. I love it. And we really don't need that matte under here. I want this one like this. I almost dropped the stamp. That would have been bad. All right, here we go. Very easy. One of my favorite types of background stamps. And I don't have to stress. I want this up here. Okay, here we go. And then we're going to lay down our rainbow. And you'll see how that all comes together. All right, here we go. All right, isn't that looking so pretty? All right, let's keep the colors over here so you can see what I've used. All right, now let's lay down the rainbow. And I am going to be using this glue right here. And I keep it in this case because it keeps it all at the tip of the glue bottle. Make sure I'm doing the right side. And I want just enough so that I can wiggle it around a bit if I need be. And I know I want to come to the very top up here. I want this, goodness knows, I want this right here. And that's another reason you use this kind. All right, here's the next piece. And the bottom edge is going to be covered with the photo. So it does not need to be perfect. Right here. So you can see a little bit of the dots in there. All right, then we have this piece. Put this one on. Doesn't the stitching just make it look so pretty? I absolutely love it. Let's lift this up and see, remember how I made sure that I did not glue and put roller tape along this edge because I knew I was going to be setting this down. All right, here we go. The layout comes together very quickly now that we're getting this done. Okay, and here we go. And again, this whole section is going to be covered with florals right here. So you won't see this part and you won't see this part. All right, now this photo I want to put on this backing because I'm trying to bring out these blues. And we're going to use roller tape. Okay, here we go. Let's lay this down. All right, here we go. And we're going to put this about right here. And I'm thinking, of course it's not straight. Oh, let's go this way. Well, that looks better. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's put this down. I'm only going to put it in the middle, and I want it to be about right here. I want to show a little bit of the edge of the white on the side there. We want it about right there because we are putting our title down here. Okay. All right, so let's gather these florals because these are the ones I want to use for this section right here. And I want to put these photos down. What am I thinking? All right. This is Sweet Ava. Oh my gosh, everyone loved her at the winery. Now there's really no set, exact measurements for this right here. But I do want to be conscientious of the fact that it's straight along this edge and on the bottom. Lauren had gone to get us both a glass of wine, and I was on Ava duty, and she didn't know anyone at the winery. She knew me, so she was very snuggly, like, okay, I need to stay by my safe person, and that's what she was doing there. All righty. Okay, now we're going to take these florals, and you see like that center part of the leaf right here? This would be a fun place to do some faux stitching right down there down the middle. Look how pretty that looks, just adding that. And I don't think I did that onto the second page. But I'm taking my fingers and I'm pinching the corners of the flowers just to give it a little bit of dimension. Doesn't that look pretty? So we're going to do that to each of the florals before we add them on. I am beyond excited for you to see page 2 and how I brought this all together. All right, let's do each one of these. There's so much you can do with paper. Okay, we got one more, and I guess I better do this leaf, right? So we have continuity. So let's do this, and then I'll bend this leaf. Okay, let's do that. All right, now let's kind of lay these florals how I want them. I don't want to cover up the wine glasses, but I do want to come out on top of the photos a bit. And I want to make sure we see a little bit of this right here. So I'm thinking we can do a little bit. I got these right here. I think what I'll do, put this here. I don't want leaf, leaf, leaf. That looks kind of silly. Like I'm doing a triangle thing. We're going to go something like this. And this one right here, not so much of it. Okay. All right, I need to start gluing some stuff down. We're going to put this one on some dimensional tape. Here we go. Not too much, just enough. Okay. So this one's going to go about right there. We're going to glue this down right here and glue this one down. Being aware that I don't want something going into my head, right? Don't need much here. Put this right here. This one will go over to the side. That looks good. And then I have this little blue one. And I think it needs a dimensional. What do you think? So let's add that. And then we have 2 more little clusters that we can add of these florals right here. So let's put this one over the top of that a bit. Now I fussy cut these out from a 12 by 12 sheet. And I think another one. I'm not sure about that. Oh, I knew I had another one. I didn't stick that down because I'm not quite sure of it. Right there. And right there. All right, I like that. And now we're going to put our title down, and it's called Sipping Wine. Sippin'. and I want to have florals right here. So we're going to put the florals down. And again, on these leaves right here, I want to do the same thing. I think it looks real pretty. Right down the middle of this one. You can do so much with a gel pen. Okay, let's just fold these leaves right on the crease there and do a little bit to our flower. All right, now I want this one right here. There we go. And then I have these two florals. And I think we're going to put this top yellow one. Oh my gosh, I just love that right there. We'll put this one right here up on a dimensional. Okay, let's peel this off. Now the reason I have the orange and yellows down here is because page B has the orange and the yellows, right? So I needed to have a little bit of yellow on this page as it went over to the other side. There we go. All right, now, so that we can keep our alphas straight, our title, we're going to bring in a T-square, and I'm going to lay it. You can still see these. Everything's just, it might be a little harder. No. All right, here we go. And I think if I can't come in, oh, I can. All right, let's see. Now you know how it is. If you start putting the alphas down, you got to make sure you have the room for them. I want to go right there. Okay, so I'm going to put the N down first, just so that look at all the backs coming off. So what we're going to do is I'm going to pause the camera. I'm going to get these letters down to save you from myself, and we will be right back. Woo-wee, that tested my patience. This was an old alpha sticker set. Now keep in mind, Felicity Jane, beautiful scrapbook company, they closed their doors. Gosh, I don't know, was it years ago now? Time just flies. But I got sipping wine. No, I have not had a glass of wine. Sipping wine. That's what the first half of the title is, and you'll see the second half in just a second. So I want to add one of these big dots to the center of this. Look how this looks. As soon as I get it on there, come here. Look at that. Oh, I love it. And the flower's a little wonka, so it doesn't need to be perfect, even though I keep trying to get it perfectly in the middle, and there's no perfect middle to that. And then I wanted to add, do I want to put a blue in the middle of that? I think we'll do it on one of them. I don't have another one. Let's put this one right here. And we could put a yellow in that. No? What do you think? Oh, a green one. There we go. All right. Hate it when I don't have things planned out like that. And they're just like hard to get. All right. Now let's do a couple of dots. I'll put some up here. 1, 2. And let's put a green, a medium green. Excuse me for being so indecisive. What? Right there. Okay, and let's do something down here. And I think, because I have all those dots right there, I'm going to do them right here. Let's do a small yellow. Goodness. There we go. And let's do a small green. Okay. All right, my friends, this is page A. Don't go anywhere because I'm going to do the big reveal and kind of share some tips on how I brought it all together with page B. I'll be right back. All right, my friends, you ready for the big reveal? Remember, we're using the Hip Kit Club, Our Stories, and it's the February kit from 2025. All right, so let me pull it away. This right here is the umbrella. And you can see all the different colors, the reds, and there's blue and there's yellow in there. That's what drew me to this kit to create a layout for our visit to the Oats Winery. So what I did is I brought out the greens on both sides. See how I have the same um, prints on both sides. These I do have the flowers going up the right way. But I cut up the yellow and orange rainbow on this side, and this one has the blue. So here I used spiced marmalade and scattered straw, the same stamps, to create some background stamping up in this corner and then down here. And then on this side, I used tumbled glass and peacock feathers to bring out the blue. But since I was going to be coming into the orange and yellows over here, I wanted to make sure there was some orange and yellow on this side. And then since I had blue on this side, I wanted to have some blue over here. And then, of course, at the winery, we're listening to the music, so I was able to put the radio. And so it's sipping wine on a gorgeous Saturday afternoon. So let me lift this up just to show you things a little closer. And I am going to read you the journaling and see how these look so lifted right there. It really does look pretty. So happy bubbly Ava, this is Ava right here, came to visit us for the weekend with Lauren. It was an incredibly beautiful fall morning, so we decided to head into town for a brunch at the carriage house, stroll through the shops on Main Street, and then walk the duck pond. But we ended up having so much fun just talking, we didn't want the day to end, so we decided to go to the winery. And I did a surprise for you all. I created a flip photo tab. And remember, I've shown you these in some of my previous videos, and all you do, and let me put this down so I can explain it to you a little better, is you match your photos how you want to. Make sure you have the top photo being the one that you want to show. Adhere the other photo to the back, and then create the same map for the bottom. And then you cut a piece of cardstock about 2 by 1 inches, and you use a good bone folder to create the crease so that it folds right. And then you're going to stick it between this photo and this one, and then you're going to stick it to the back of this photo, and then you glue this one down. And it's very easy to insert that into a page protector. I showed that at the end of one of my end of the month scrapbook page videos. You'll see it when you go to my channel. All right, my friends, I cannot wait to hear what you think and to read your comments below. You know they just make my day. Be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a future video. Until we meet again, God bless. Have an incredible day and stay scrappy. Bye-bye.